Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into the actual mechanical truth behind why some websites absolutely dominate their industries, while others, well, they practically disappear from the internet. We're going inside the comprehensive playbook of FirstPageRanks. We're literally mapping out the exact industrial machinery it takes to build massive digital visibility from the ground up. So what does a full-service SEO agency actually do all day? It's incredibly easy to just assume search engine optimization is all about finding a few magic keywords and slapping them into a headline. But scaling visibility? It isn't some mystical art form. It's a massive, multi-layered operation. By decoding the exhaustive service catalog of a real-world agency, we get to see the sheer scale of the daily, grueling execution required to conquer search algorithms and drive real scalable business growth.
To help us navigate all this, here is our roadmap for today. 1. Anatomy of an agency. 2. The 3 SEO pillars. 3. Mastering local search. 4. Advanced agency strategies. And finally, 5. The pricing playbook. All right, let's jump right into Section 1, Anatomy of an Agency.
FirstPageRanks anchors their entire operation on something called white hat SEO. Now, in an industry that's honestly notorious for risky shortcuts and black hat tactics promising overnight traffic spikes, which never last, by the way, an established agency like this is actually selling long-term sustainability as its core product. They explicitly avoid techniques that inevitably lead to catastrophic search engine penalties. Instead, they focus entirely on a rigorous, user-first framework. It aligns perfectly with search engine guidelines, which effectively protects a client's core revenue stream over the long haul. It's about playing the long game.
Moving on to Section 2, the 3 SEO pillars. When you deconstruct their massive catalog of services, it reveals a really sharp operational divide between on-page and off-page SEO. And this isn't just about crossing off different tasks on a checklist. It's about allocating entirely different teams and skill sets that operate in parallel. Think of it this way. On-page requires deep structural and content expertise. You've got writers and webmasters obsessing over site architecture and keyword placement. Off-page, meanwhile, that operates much more like a high-end PR firm. It requires human outreach, relationship building, and negotiating high-quality backlinks across the broader internet. It's this intricate dance of optimizing the internal machinery while simultaneously campaigning for external authority.
And then we have the third pillar, technical SEO. This acts as the often invisible triage center of any campaign. Before a single word of new content is even written, agencies spend a massive chunk of their time just fixing broken foundations. Actually, it's a bit of a running joke in the industry that clients always want a shiny new blog, completely ignoring the fact that their website takes a full 10 seconds to load and is absolutely riddled with duplicate content errors. Implementing proper HTTPS security, optimizing crawlability, fixing canonicalization, these are non-negotiable prerequisites. If the technical foundation is cracked, search engines simply aren't going to care how perfectly optimized your keywords are.
Let's head into Section 3, Mastering Local Search. The geographic spread we're looking at here stretches from specific Indian cities like Kanpur and Ahmedabad, all the way to international markets like Dubai and Canada. This perfectly highlights the fascinating arbitrage and global reach of a modern agency. They're operating out of Kanpur, but they are managing highly specific, localized digital footprints all over the world. This level of geo-targeting, it's not just tweaking a couple of location settings in an app. It involves a meticulous logistical matrix, building hyper-specific landing pages, and managing local citations for every single one of these distinct, separated markets simultaneously. Dominating those local markets requires mind-numbing rigor. Executing Google My Business optimization, enforcing name, address, and phone consistency, or NAP consistency, across the entire web, and actively responding to customer reviews. Look, this is not a set-it-and-forget-it task. It is a grueling, daily maintenance routine. If you've ever tried keeping just one single business profile perfectly updated while engaging with every review, you can imagine the sheer operational manpower required to do it flawlessly for 50 or 100 distinct locations across totally different time zones. It's massive.
Okay, let's look at Section 4, Advanced Agency Strategies.
Beyond the standard playbook, full-service operations have to act as high-stakes digital mechanics. For example, a Google penalty is essentially a death sentence for a business's revenue stream. Recovering from that requires highly specialized tactics to resurrect a de-indexed site. Then you've got e-commerce SEO, which is notoriously a total nightmare of duplicate content and complex site architecture. Add in the continuous auditing of toxic backlink profiles or formatting data specifically for voice search, you really start to see that this isn't just basic marketing. It is highly technical, deeply analytical triage that requires constant, endless adaptation to new algorithms.
And these execution timeframes, they completely shatter those overnight success pitches you see all over the internet. Keyword research alone takes almost a week. A technical audit can require up to 14 days. And untangling a penalized website to actually recover its rankings, that can demand a full month of highly focused effort. Real, sustainable SEO is an exercise in extreme patience and methodical execution. It really adds a dose of harsh reality to the conversation, doesn't it? True digital authority is built brick by brick, algorithm update by algorithm update.
Let's wrap up our roadmap with Section 5, the Pricing Playbook.
Translating these theoretical pillars into actual rupees reveals the absolute hierarchy of digital labor. The complexity and human capital required scale dramatically with the price. For instance, keyword research is priced at 3,600 rupees a month, but digital PR, that costs more than triple that amount, sitting at 11,500 rupees monthly. This delta perfectly illustrates a crucial industry reality. While keyword and technical audits can be heavily supported by software tools, earning high-quality digital PR placements and authoritative backlinks requires intense human relationships, manual pitching, and deep industry connections. Software just can't do that for you.
But, whether you're spending 3,000 rupees or well over 100,000, it ultimately boils down to a single, unyielding philosophy. As FirstPageRanks puts it, search visibility improves when strategy and execution work together seamlessly. An exhaustive menu of advanced services and a massive budget are utterly useless unless the high-level macro strategy and the daily, granular, in-the-weeds execution are in perfect harmony.
So, as we wrap up this explainer on the massive industrial scale of modern digital marketing, take a moment to reflect on your own operations. If strategy and execution have to work perfectly together, where might your brand's current playbook be falling short? Are you dominating on-page content but completely ignoring your technical crawlability? Maybe you're building great backlinks but neglecting the daily rigor of your local maps profile? Take a hard look at your own foundation, identify that weakest link, and start optimizing. Thanks so much for joining me today. Stay curious and keep building.